Well, earlier we got a first sneak peek at how the reservation system might work for Disneyland and Disney World. And today we got confirmation of more details, namely how it's going to work and when you can do it. Now, let me first clarify that this is for Walt Disney World only right now, though I do expect to get something similar or maybe even the same thing for Disneyland when it opens a week later. So let's not waste any time. Let's take a look at what we've learned this morning about the reservation system. Similar to what we saw in Hong Kong, guests looking to make a reservation will be required to create a new My Disney Experience account. This is separate from the account you probably already have for either the Disneyland or Walt Disney World websites or apps. You'll be able to create a profile, create a traveling party consisting of other family members or friends, and then link your resort reservations to your tickets. By the way, I should confirm up front before we go any further, this system is set up only for existing ticket holders, single day or multi-day tickets, annual passes, resort guests. You will not be able to make a reservation and buy a ticket at the same time. Now, the My Disney Experience software or site is up and running now, as I understand it, so you will be able to go in there and create your account, and I highly recommend that you do this in advance of trying to make a reservation. Go ahead and create your traveling party, get everybody connected and attached. That way you don't have to waste any time doing that when you try to make a reservation when they become available later on. Okay, moving on. Disney confirmed that there will be no park hopping at all. This, of course, is necessary in order to limit attendance, to control the crowd levels, control capacity. Now, Disney did say, though, that if you already have a ticket that has the park hopper option added into it, you can call Disney and downgrade or modify your ticket, or even cancel it if you prefer. You'll get some sort of refund on that. Not sure, though, about annual passes. By definition, an annual pass is a park hopper, but nothing was mentioned about that in the update. My guess is that there won't be any sort of rebate or recompense for annual pass holders not being able to park hop. I think that might be something that we're just going to have to accept. It's interesting, now that I think about this non-park hopping rule that they've set up, which, by the way, is necessary, and I agree with it, it makes me wonder how it might affect parks like Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom. Now, by all means, I'm not an expert at Disney World, but as far as I understand it, those aren't necessarily full-day parks, especially Animal Kingdom. But if you want to go to Hollywood Studios and you want to go to Pandora, then you're going to have to commit to those parks for the whole day. And I kind of wonder if that may or may not affect attendance for those parks. Just food for thought. Oh, and one other note on park hopping. It was stated that they will be eliminating the option to buy a park hopper through the rest of 2020. You won't be able to get a park hopper added to your ticket until 2021. Now, for multi-day ticket holders, it is confirmed that you're going to have to make a separate reservation for each day that for your multi-day ticket. Now, it doesn't say, though, whether or not there will be a limit. We had previously guessed that there might be a 2-day limit, similar to what you get for a Flex Pass. But they didn't make any sort of mention of that in the update. So until we hear from Disney to confirm one way or the other, there's at least a chance that if you have, let's say, a 5-day ticket, that you'll be able to make 5 days worth of reservations. Now, one thing that they did say, though, was that reservations are obviously subject to availability. And what that means, obviously, is even though you have the ability, or you might have the ability, to make 3 or 4 or 5 days worth of reservations, they may be sold out. So there's no guarantee that you can get all 5 days or however many your ticket has. Okay, how about when? That's what people want to know. When can I start making reservations? Well, that was revealed also. And it is going to be in accordance with what kind of ticket you have. Resort, annual pass, single day ticket, or multi-day ticket. First dibs are going to go to the resort guest holders. They can make a reservation as soon as June 22nd. That is this coming Monday. Next up would be the annual pass holders. They can start making reservations as soon as next Friday, June 26th. And then finally, single day ticket holders or multi-day ticket holders can start making reservations on June 28th, next Sunday. Now, given that each type of ticket has a separate reservation starting date, I guess it goes without saying that your traveling party that you create in the My Disney Experience app should consist of those guests that all have the same kind of pass, just to keep things more efficient and smooth. That is to say, you don't want to have a four-member party, 2 of them with APs and 2 of them with single-day tickets, because obviously if you try to do the AP ones, you can't make a reservation for the single-day or multi-day ticket holders. They have to wait for another couple days. So just keep that in mind when you set up your traveling party. Okay, so what about new ticket sales? Well, that was mentioned as well. Now, we mentioned previously in another video that there was a rumor going around that Disney would freeze new ticket sales, not just for now, but for the rest of the year. You wouldn't be able to buy a new ticket until 2021 or later even. But that is not the case. The update specifically says, later this summer, we will resume sales of 2020 tickets and Disney Resort hotel arrivals based on availability of park reservations. So what that means is, to my understanding, is that later on this summer, if the park isn't sold out, if they haven't reached capacity, then they will make those remaining spots available for new ticket sales, as they should. They did, though, go on to say that starting June 28th, that guests who are looking to make buy a resort package or buy a ticket for 2021, they can start doing that on June 28th. And that might be where the confusion was with whoever it was that was reporting that initial rumor. They might have thought that that meant that they were only going to be able to buy tickets for 2021 starting June 28th, but that is not the case. As long as there are tickets available, it's not guaranteed, but as long as if there are tickets available, spots available later on this summer, Disney will make those tickets available for sale. Now, a couple more things before we wrap up. If you have a resort reservation but didn't also buy a ticket when you reserved your spot, there may still be hope for you. Call Disney or call your travel agent. I believe they might be making an exception to that freeze-out rule. Call them and see if you can upgrade your resort package to include a ticket. I'm not sure when you can do this, if you can do that now or if you have to wait, or if it's going to be time enough prior to the reservation system beginning. But there is a chance, I think, for those guests who, like I said, have a resort reservation but don't have a ticket. And then lastly, and this is for Walt Disney World, of course, Disney has suspended, or they're going to stop giving out free Magic Bands to those guests who have resort packages. This is something that they did in the past, but they're no longer doing that. And that is because it sounds like they're going to be moving many of the features that are in a Magic Band and putting those into the mobile app, which makes a lot of sense. Now, some folks I've seen on social media, etc., thought this meant that they were getting rid of the Magic Band, program altogether, but that is definitely not the case. You can still use your Magic Band, and you can still buy a Magic Band, a themed one or whatever in the store. So that's still a thing. And that's pretty much what we know as of this morning. And as I mentioned, I expect something very similar or even the same thing for Disneyland when we open a week later, or when the reservation starts, I guess at the end of June or something like that. What are your thoughts, though, Fresh Baked? Is this about what you expected? It is for me. I'm especially glad. I'm glad to see that they are giving priority to the resort guests, annual pass holders, and existing ticket holders. This is a very good move on their part. It not only is respectful of those guests who have already put money up front for their Disneyland tickets, but it does show that they are taking a measured approach to how many guests that they're letting into the park, taking care of those guests first, and then evaluating and seeing how the park reacts to the guests, how the guests react to the park, what's happening with COVID in terms of the statistics, if it's spiking or not, and they're not committing to selling all those tickets up front. If everything goes accordingly, then and only then will they start selling tickets. And what this has resulted in really is a de facto soft opening for existing ticket holders, and it will be that way until Disney is comfortable with increasing the number of tickets that they sell while still maintaining limited capacity. So it's a good move on their part. I like what they're doing here, especially because they're going to keep going forward even though the situation is not completely solved, that is, with respect to the virus. But of course, I'd love to hear your thoughts as well, Fresh Baked. If you've got any other input, if you have any other questions, let us know in the comments below. And until next time, guys, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so that you are aware of when the next update is published. And until then, thanks for watching. We love you very much. Be kind to one another. And Fresh Baked